Welcome to part 2 of the lung health series. My name is Dr. Chris Osterlitz with Benesari Chiropractic. The breathing technique I'm going to be doing today is Wim Hof breathing. It's a very simple, easy process to do. It's a series of 3 sets of 30 deep breaths with a pause in between to allow for experiencing what it's like to be fully oxygenated and not having the inspiration or the instigation for another breath to happen. So it's a very wonderful process. This helps to create increase in oxygen in your blood, releasing carbon dioxide. It's also a time that you can blend meditation into this process and think about things you're grateful for, make plans or thoughts or intentions for your future. Whatever it is you wish to do in a meditative state, you can incorporate along with this breathing. The 3 different sets of 30 breaths will sometimes create a tingling sensation in your hands or feet, and you could get a bit lightheaded, a bit euphoric, and all really good things to work through. For some, it'll be a completely new experience. For others, it'll be familiar, depending upon your past experiences. So I'll go over this breathing right now. This is a stomach breathing technique where you will start by protruding with your abdomen. As you protrude with your abdomen, it creates a rocking or movement at the center of your pelvis, the bone at the center of your pelvis called the sacrum. And then as you breathe all the way to the top of your breath, breathing as much air as you can breathe in, you will feel muscles contract in the upper part of your ribcage and neck, which is the chest breathing part of the breath. So I'll demonstrate once again. The beginning is a stomach breath, leading all the way to the top of the chest, pulling in, and the muscles around the top of your rib cage that attach up into your neck will be lifting your rib cage, and then you let it out to neutral. You're not forcing the air out. You're just taking as much as you can in and then letting it out to neutral. Once again. And you let it go very easy. So with the breathing, there's a belly breath to start with, leading to chest breathing, where the muscles that attach to the top of your rib cage and up into your neck will contract, fully expanding the volume in your rib cage, drawing air in, and then you let the breath out to neutral. You do 30 breaths in succession. At the end of the 30 breaths, there will be a pause where there will not be a stimulus to take another breath. In the essence of time, I will stop at the 10 breaths, simulating and assuming that I did the full 30 breaths. At the end of the last breath, or the 30th breath, you let the air out and you pause and rest. When you first start doing this technique, after the first set of 30 deep breaths, you'll spend about 30 to 40 seconds resting peacefully without your body stimulating another breath to come in. When you feel like you need to take another breath, you take a full breath in, and you hold that breath for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then let it go back to neutral, and then that leads into another set of 30 deep breaths. After the second set, there will be a longer duration of time where you're resting peacefully, and when that next stimulus comes in, You will take another deep breath. You'll hold that breath for 5 to 10 seconds and then let it go back to neutral, leading into the next set of 30 breaths. At the end of that last set, you will pause. On your first round through, you might be up to about 50 to 60 seconds before there's another stimulus for a deep breath. And similar to the first two, you'll take a deep breath in, hold it, and your option here is to hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, or you can hold it for as long as you want, as long as you're able to, and then let it go. And then you can resume your meditation. You can end your session at that point. A variation on the breathing theme that I picked up from Dr. Joe Dispenza is to hold that breath for just a couple seconds before you let it out. So it looks like this. As you do the second variation on this, what you're doing is you're allowing for a holding in that movement between the lower part of your pelvis, the bone in the center called the sacrum, and the occipital bone at the base of your cranium, the base of your skull. And as you do that, you're helping to increase the flow of cerebral spinal fluid, which is the spinal fluid that bathes your brain and spinal cord, brings nutrients and oxygen to all of the nerve cells in your central nervous system, being brain and spinal cord. And as you're breathing out and as you're relaxing, you're allowing for carbon dioxide and waste products to flow away, and also allowing for that cerebral spinal fluid to flow back up to where it's resorbed into the bloodstream between the brain and the cranium. So as you're doing this variation on the breath, you'll take a deep breath in, hold it. At the very top of your breath, you'll feel a contraction and tension within your rib cage. And what I like to do here is to allow the top of the rib cage to relax and then let the breath out. So it looks like this. However you do this, whatever variation on the theme you choose to do, the most important thing is to go through this series of breaths, do what's comfortable for you. You can go past 30 breaths to 40 breaths if you wish. You can do your breathing all the way to the point where you feel very lightheaded, maybe even almost to the point where you feel like you're a little unstable, or might even be at the point of losing consciousness, which won't happen, but it is another place you can go. So you can go to Wim Hof's website. You can go to Dr. Joe Dispenza and look at his breathing techniques. There's breathing techniques in all ancient cultures, traditional cultures around the world. Our breath is our true connection to our environment. It's our opportunity to have the biggest exchange of atoms and electrons and everything with our environment. So as we breathe in and breathe out, it can be cleansing for our bodies. It helps with interaction with our external world, and it's our biggest connection to life.